Joshua 4:7 says, then, again, this is continuation of what Joshua is saying. Joshua 4:6, that this may be a sign among you when your children ask in time to come, what do those stones mean to you? Joshua 4:7, then you shall tell them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it passed over the Jordan, the waters were cut off. So these stones shall be to the people of Israel a memorial forever. You will never forget this. This is something that you are never to forget. And so Joshua 4:7 says, this is how you respond to your children when they ask, what do those stones mean to you? Why are those stones stacked up? Why is there a big pile of rocks over there? You shall tell them, tell your children. Again, this takes us all the way back to Deuteronomy 6, verse 7, the parents are supposed to be the main spiritual leaders, the main spiritual influencers in a child's life. It's not necessarily the responsibility of your church. It's not necessarily the responsibility of your pastors or Sunday school teachers or whoever else it might be. It is the responsibility of the parents. You, as mom and dad, you shall tell them that the waters of the Jordan River here, they were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. The waters literally parted. They stood up in one heap so that all of Israel could pass through on dry ground and come out on the other side. This is something that all of Israel was always supposed to remember. It was supposed to be a memorial forever. You never forget this. And you tell all of your children, you tell all of their children, they tell their children, they tell their grandchildren. It passes on from generation to generation to generation. A memorial forever, never ending, forever. You remember this moment. Joshua is clearly leading the people to do this and to pass on this information. Verse 7, then you shall tell them, your children, that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. Specifically here, they were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. It's showing that God is keeping his covenant that he has made with his people, that these are his people. He has made promises to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to Moses. He's made promises to his people, and he is fulfilling them. He is faithful as always to fight their battles, to fulfill his promises. He's faithful as always to fulfill all of his promises, and he is keeping his covenant faithfulness. So they were cut off, the waters, before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When remember it's really a physical representation. This Ark of the Covenant is a physical representation of the spiritual presence of God in the midst of his people. So when it passed over the Jordan, the waters were cut off, literally stood in one big heap. I guess this side actually flowed down to the Dead Sea, but this over here stood in one big heap. They were cut off. So these stones shall be to the people of Israel a memorial forever. The people were able to walk across the Jordan River on dry ground, no water, no soppy, wet, muddy mess. They walked on dry ground to the other side. Israel was to never forget this, and they were to pass this information on from generation to generation to generation. This is what these stones mean. And this is Joshua chapter 4, verse 7.